and then we're going to advertise it with beautiful designs like the Macavision team just showed us. And it's all a reality. Like they showed it with the Rolls Royce, it's already there. But what, and see the bridge I'm making right now, what if we extend that reality? And that's what we're going to talk about. Yes, there's a web thread in this third day of OpenSlava. What if we extend that reality and talk about it with someone who knows all about it, who's an XR capability, XR consumer lead in Europe for Accenture, and he's going to talk about extended reality, the fourth computing wave. So let's extend that reality with, and again, like I said, this is the challenging 2 days with the name. What I'm talking about is Fadi. You got to forgive me here. Chehimi, I hope it's right. If not, just let me know. So if you're ready, also for the people, I'm not forgetting you. I know you're in the chat, which is great, I really appreciate that you're showing the love. I see Mirka, Margareta, Will, Fran, Ivan, Gabriella, Sarka, Jana, Daniela, Martin, and so many more already giving the love to the speakers, loving the presentations, even trying out Spanish like Jose was trying out Slovak. I love the vibe on this third day. And in the meantime, I see my backstage is full and we have the expert on extended reality. So I'm not going to take up more of your time because I knew you're also on a schedule. So if you're ready, give me a thumbs up. Yup, he's starting to share his screen, so I'll take this as a thumbs up. Fadi, take it away. Enjoy yourself. The stage.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So hi everyone. Sorry for the delay. We just had a couple of technical issues. So it's my pleasure to be here today. My name is Fadi Chehimi. I am the extended reality capability lead in Europe and the extended reality for consumer experiences lead in Europe. I'm based in the UK. I look after the business in the UK from that aspect. And yeah, today I would love to talk to you about the future of technology and the fourth evolution, if you want to call it, in the computing era. Before jumping in, I just want to set the scene. Let's just make sure the slides are moving. Yeah, all right. So since our first existence as a species, we humans have always interacted with the world around us in its 3D shape and 3D form. We utilized our different senses to process and interact with information and other mates that surrounded us. We noted changes in the grass patterns in the distance, motion, or where others are gazing, fearing to be hunted and eaten by beasts sneaking by. We listened to sounds from all directions to scan and locate our next hunting destination. We used landmarks to annotate and find our habitats, tribes, and applying our instinctive spatial awareness. And the same senses still serve us today. I mean, in every aspect of our life to develop in every way. We learn better when we touch and manipulate things, and when we are studying and experiencing what we are doing, that creates what's called muscle memory. We connect and collaborate with people more effectively when we meet face to face and talk and listen, pick up post-it notes and exchange ideas and emotions. We remember trips we go to by some sort of emotional attachment to the time, the place, the feelings of that we had, the gush of the air on our face, etc., etc. I know I'm making you nostalgic to pre-COVID world, but bear with me a little bit, and we'll talk about how these things will manifest themselves in the virtual world as well as to what we are used to in the physical world. So it's very rare that one sense or one part of our nervous system works alone to interact in anything that we go through in our real life and to respond to any situation. The most simplest example I can give you is that when we are walking on the street, it is our eyes basically scanning and seeing where we're going. It's our proprioception system, or basically the senses of where our body parts are, help us basically feel the ground and control how our arms are moving to balance things. It is our vestibular system in our ears, which help us to keep balance and moving. So it's a combination of multiple sensory systems working together to enable us to work effectively and complete the most mundane tasks in our daily life, just like walking. Now, although this is the case, all kinds of media known to humans till date have always been flat in 2D boxes, utilizing one or two senses in isolation, just for us to be able to understand the context. Books and newspaper entertain our eyes, radios sync to our ears, cinema and TV luckily engage both of them, eyes and ears. Internet and mobile carry basically formats from the past and make them more accessible, but still serving both the eyes and ears. What about other senses? Tactile, proprioception, balance, feeling of being there with other people, emotional attachment to things. Well, this is where we believe XR is poised to fill the void and introduce a totally new category of experiences that we can be engaged in and emotionally immersed. But yeah, sorry, I'm just playing this video. I hope it plays nicely. We'll see how it goes.
A new dimension of experience is emerging, one that blends our physical and digital.
Sorry, can you hear any audio? If anyone can just...
Yes, we can. We can hear the audio. Right. It's not going super smooth, but we can hear the audio.
All right, you can hear the audio of the video?
Yeah.
All right.
And the images are going a bit slower, but it's okay. Now the audio is gone. It was there, now it's gone.
Please roll the window down. Creating more personalized and memorable forms of brand engagement. Vividly bringing products to life in accessible new ways. And empowering consumers to shop and buy whenever and wherever they want. The opportunity to turn imagination into reality is now.
Sorry, I know that when we did the preparation for the presentation, I did tell the guys I don't have videos to play with audio, but I couldn't resist not to play this as just basically a teaser to people and to get them to know what XR is about. So apologies if it didn't play well, but hopefully I'll explain things throughout the slides. Right, okay. So what you've seen is just an example of immersive experiences that could be created using different forms and different formats of extended reality. Before explaining what extended reality is, just want to set the scene here. It is a set fact that now people and businesses have formed new habits in the last 18 months as a result of COVID. Remote working is an expectation, and virtual client workshops, meetings, presentations like these ones are just like the norms. Consumers are moving in droves to digital channels, buying virtual goods for thousands of dollars, or NFT, if you've heard of NFTs, doing social shopping, hanging out with friends, etc. More and more production lines are facing strict rules about occupancy in the space and hygiene and social distancing, etc. How can we rapidly train employees on all of these changes while still remain productive and still basically retain these employees? How can we connect with the consumers and create new content and services that really engage them and hook them with the brand? How can we do all of this whilst keeping costs down and reducing downtime? Well, we believe that XR can help overcome these challenges and fuel business growth to our clients and basically get over the competition. But what is XR exactly? In order to understand XR, we have to look at its building blocks. So I think many of you have come across these acronyms: VR, AR, MR. So VR is virtual reality. This is where we are completely disconnected from the physical world around us, and we are immersed inside a computer synthesized environment. Everything is computer generated inside that world. AR is augmented reality. So this is where we are still in our physical space, but our physical space is enhanced with some virtual content that overlays it. This could be information in our field of view, or could be things lying on the table, or the robot here on the floor. MR is mixed reality. This is augmented reality on steroids. So not only we get the digital overlays in our field of view, but actually these digital overlays understand the environment around us. This robot understands the construct or the surfaces of the chair, and it's actually standing on it rather than going through it. It would understand that there is shade, and then some of that shade will basically apply on that robot. It will understand that there is light, and then some of that light will be somehow augmented in it. And this is what mixed reality is. So it's mixing their digital and the real in a more, let's say, realistic way. And XR is actually an umbrella term that encompasses all of these three technologies together. It goes from the complete virtual on the left-hand side to the complete realistic on the right-hand side. Now, in order for you to experience XR, there are multiple ways, and there are multiple tools. Some of them are headset-based, some of them are mobile-based, some of them are web-based. You can have them on your desktop, etc. I will not dive into all of these things, but I'm putting this slide here just for you to know that there are different tools out there that would enable people to get into the XR space, whether it is from a development and creation perspective, or whether it is from experiencing the content and the stories that are being told using that medium. So from Accenture perspective, we see XR in 5 different lenses. These are our main offerings that we offer to our clients. AR connected worker. So this is where a person in the field, an engineer, a maintenance person, a field service specialist who is in the field, let's say in a mine or in maintaining electricity generators, etc. So this person is empowered with the ability of having an expert who is remote to be able to see what he can see and potentially give him support and annotate things for them to do. So suddenly every person, even if that person is just like has been on the job for a week, can have access to these experts and can basically fulfill the task as experts would do, because these experts have access through the AR headset for them to be able to see what they see and complete the job. Now, think about this as well, not only from a task completion perspective, but also reporting. So if an engineer has finished a job, they can tap on the headset, take a photo of that, command, basically speak some commands, and then suddenly that becomes like the report that he has completed this job. And this is the proof, and it goes and get updated to the cloud. In everyday life, what engineers do is they would take pictures, then later in the day, they would go and remember what they have done and write a report, try to download the pictures, upload them, which is like a very time-consuming job. The next offering is immersive learning. This is experiential learning. This is the thing that ties to the narrative at the beginning of the presentation about us humans learn by doing. Okay, immersive learning is using virtual reality. So you put on a virtual a VR headset, and then you are in a simulation of some form and of some form. This simulation can help you learn things like whether it is soft skills or hard skills. I'll show you some examples in a minute. But the most important part here to keep in mind is that this is a way that engineers, leaders, managers can learn different skills, maintaining a particular part, for example, or assembling a car in a factory, or even learning how to deal with colleagues, like learning different leadership styles or inclusion and diversity topics, etc. Then we go to the third offering, which is XR for collaboration and events. So this is where we bring people together inside a virtual environment to meet, like the one that you are in at the moment. You are not seeing that inside virtual reality headset, but it comes into the same context of people coming together into some space, have that spatial awareness, seeing other people wandering around, moving around, etc., etc. And these kind of environments can be useful for meetings, events like this, conferences, design thinking workshops, etc., etc. And then the fourth one is virtual research. This is mostly tailored offering for retailers. The idea here is to be able to simulate a store or a layout of products before they are done in physical life. So rather than retailers creating a physical mock-up store to test if this particular layout would be useful or not, they would use virtual reality, which is way quicker and cheaper. And you can bring people in and then test and evaluate if their interactions and perceptions of the space is useful or not. And then the third and the last one is XR for consumer experiences and consumer journeys. This is where we have things like virtual stores, I'll show you some examples, or virtual spaces, virtual try-ons using augmented reality, and so on and so forth. So these are the 5 offerings that we've got at Accenture. Now I'll just walk through them in more details and then give you some examples. So I did touch on immersive learning. As I said, it's experiential learning using virtual reality, where you can learn soft skills and you can learn hard skills. The most important part here is that your senses are completely immersed in here. It's not only watching a video, it's not only reading, it's actually a combination of all of your senses coming together in order for you to be able to learn and assess a situation. One example I have for you is a project that we have developed for Sempra. And we are now in phase 2 of this project. So this is a virtual reality experience, which trains the field engineers on how to maintain the electricity poles in forests. Now, this is in California, and there are lots of fires that happen in California. So if these electricity poles not maintained properly, I mean, that causes danger and potential cause for fire. Generally, engineers will spend like a day or 2 training and learning how to maintain these things. And as you can see, they are in a classroom, they look at some video presentations, some person tell them things. But what we've done is actually put them inside that space in VR and let them follow the instructions of maintaining a particular pole as they would do in real life, plus using the realistic tools that they would be using in real life, which allows them to potentially learn how to use the tool correctly and even make mistakes. Because if you make mistake inside VR, that's fine. You are actually learning. You're not going to harm yourself or cause any danger or potential fire. So that's one example I'm sharing with you. XR for collaboration, as I said, we all miss being together physically. The next best thing beyond Zoom and video conferences is to have some form of 3D playfulness, getting people together in one space, like you guys have experienced with virtual show floor or showcase. Do things in a productive way, collaborate in solving problems, or just like having fun. One leading platform that we have internally is called ICP, Accenture Immersive Collaboration Platform. So this is one of our accelerators that we have developed internally, and we are working with the clients on it. You can bring up to 25 people into the space. And as you can see, these spaces are really high fidelity spaces, true to life digital twins. We have more than 20 Accenture offices being recreated in their digital formats, in their digital twins, and imported into this platform. Now, ICP is just one platform. We've got many other platforms that we work with, mainly Altspace from Microsoft at the moment. And the fidelity is different from one platform to another. And then virtual try-ons. So 40% of any sales that happen online, unfortunately, ends up being returned. This is a known fact and a big problem for retailers in the e-commerce space because of the logistics, because of the skewed sales results and estimations, etc. And it's just not environmentally friendly, right? Of handling the shipment and the returns and logistics of warehouses, etc., etc. So giving people the ability of having a personal experience with a product before they buy it, given that they cannot do it in store, would be the next best thing after just looking at pictures on the web and that's it. Trying things on yourself, like glasses, necklaces, even jackets and garments are possible now. It's better than you just seeing it on another model. Trying things around you as well, like the famous IKEA Place app, which allows you to put IKEA furniture in your living room and see if the colors and the patterns fit what you've got, etc., whether it is big enough or too big, etc. So this is where virtual try-ons come in. One of our examples of this has been applied to Seat in Spain. Now, this application has two flavors. One flavor of you actually augmenting a virtual car in your space, and you can walk around that virtual car. But my favorite second part is actually this one that I'm going to show you now. This is not a virtual car that you see. This is actually a real car in a dealership. And you go around this car and you change the color immediately on the car. You don't need to see it on another one. So just think of all the configurations that you can apply on a car and all the different simulations. You can simulate turning on the lights. You can change the wheels. You can change the color. You can apply any other accessories. Now, this is in my opinion, this is one of the best examples of how augmented reality can really help and work in this space for retailers. Another one is virtual spaces or virtual stores. So all of us now are used to being tucked in the Zoomiverse, as they call it, and attending conferences and meetings, etc. And when it comes to shopping, again, we are used to just browsing and looking through lists of things and selecting one. But this has not been fulfilling to most of those who have gone online. So many people miss the physical aspects of being in a real store, and I don't envy them. We are humans. We notice things around us. Something attracts us on the shelf there. We walk towards it. We look. We pick it up, try it, and see it, and then we may decide to buy it. These things are not available on websites, and this is what virtual spaces and virtual stores are there to help. So when you think about a video game, people go to a video game and play, walk around, interact with other players, pick up ammunitions and weapons, etc., and they go together in one mission. But if you take the same analogy and apply it in a store setup where I go with my wife, maybe a friend, together into a virtual store, which is in 3D, we can walk around and we can look at products. I can pick one of these products. I love that red jacket there, so I walk towards it. I walk towards it rather than just like pick it from a list. I called my wife, hey, come, darling, have a look. What do you think of this? She said, try it on you. And then actually I can put it on my avatar. Looks nice on you. Then I buy it. That's a complete different experience of you just scrolling through a list and then you buy it. These kind of spaces are booming at the moment, and many industries are exploring how they can leverage these, whether it is as websites or whether it is on actual games like Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, etc. The purpose of these kind of spaces is not just to transact, but actually to connect with prospect clients, which is a mind shift in how we can make this kind of experiences successful. I'll share with you just an example of one space that we are doing at the moment. This is a project that is currently being finalized for an event called Exterior. So Exterior is one of the first extended reality for digital fashion conferences. You can go and register here. It's on the 30th of November till the 2nd of December. This event talks about digital fashion in general and how extended reality fits within that space. And for that event, we are developing 3 beautiful, surreal environments where people can go around and actually look at digital dresses, learn about the artists, engage in an immersive environment that is out of this world, and just like find treasures being hidden in different places. All of this open to the public, so anyone can jump in and join. So I can go there, I can go with my wife again, go around, explore. So it becomes more of like an excursion or like visiting a museum, right? Rather than just like shopping on a website. It's just reframing the concept of selling in an experiential way. And then I'll just quickly cover our XR capability and then open up for questions if people have questions. So XR at Accenture is big, and we've got more than 350 people all around the world focusing and specializing in creating XR experiences. We've got developers, we've got 3D artists, we've got strategists, project managers, consultants, etc., etc. And we work in all of the different verticals, from manufacturing to oil and gas to consumer goods to fashion to automotive, etc., etc. And we don't do this by ourselves. We have a host of partners in the industry that we have forged and formed relationships and partnerships with in order to enable us to deliver the best kind of solutions to our clients to get the best value out of extended reality. And as I said, we've got different capabilities from technology, architecture, advisory, and strategy. We've got studios who can quickly tinker and evaluate concepts, experience design and analytics, and all that stuff. And yeah, that's it from my side. I'll hand over if there are any questions.
Thank you very much, Fadi, for extending our reality. I love the fact also seeing the ICP, because I spent a lot of time with Marco last OpenSlava in the ICP. A beautiful environment that I was really like in my own living room. Like, wow, honey, look at this. With my wife, we were walking through the ICP, so definitely something that people should check out. And the cool thing is, with the fashion, you can also walk around and find hidden treasures. But that's what you can also do in the VSF. You can go get the badges and find the treasures and claim your Nintendo Switch. And I know the presentation is about that, but I never heard of the term Zoomiverse. That's a really cool term for the situation.
Yeah, I'm not the person who coined this this term. It's a person called Dean Takahashi from GameBeat. So nice. Very known person in the gaming world, and I don't know if people have heard of the metaverse so far, but this is becoming something that is really, really big, which is gonna swallow all of the industry from gaming, XR, cloud, etc., etc. It's the next evolution of the internet. And this is where the fatigue of us being burnt by Zoom and being tough Zoomverse will take us to the next level of the metaverse.
There you go. And in the meantime, Fadi is already teasing his next presentation next year for OpenSlava. It's going to be about the metaverse. People, there you go. If I'm looking at the timing and also for the next speaker, so I'm going to also, let me see if there's thank you for the presentation. All right, I'm going to skip the questions just to respect the timing. Also for the next speaker is already ready. Thank you so much, Fadi, for extending Aria. I really liked it. Possibilities are endless. I'm looking forward to my first digital fashion show. And have a great
You're more than welcome. Join us next year.
Will do. There you go.